This is an optional video about how you can upload a unit roster for your summer camp registration without having to individually enter everyone. This is something for an advanced user who knows a lot about Excel spreadsheets and converting CSV files to Excel files. And if that statement confused you, it confuses me a little bit. And so therefore I wouldn't recommend that if it's not something you commonly do. But for those of you who do work in the Excel space and are interested in learning this, there is a way of uploading a roster. And by the way, I have put in some support tickets about potentially making this easier. For example, if you could import a Scoutbook roster from the file that Scoutbook creates, that would be much easier. And so we've passed on information like that to Councilware. In order to have a roster, you have to be able to see the My Units flag here from your My Council page. So when you go to the Hawkeye Area Council website and go into My Council, you have to be able to see My Units. This shows up for people who are entered as the top leader. For example, the Scoutmaster of every troop should have their My Unit show here. And then there are ways to add more. And so your Scoutmaster can click here and add more leaders into this, or you can call the council office and they can set you up if you do not see a My Units tab here. But when you click on this, you'll go into your unit. And then what you can do is you can go into setup. If you're in the Scoutmaster's login, you can go here and set up other leaders as a user here. And that way they will see that unit tab from their My Council homepage as well. But what I want to talk about, by the way, from this unit page, it's not terribly useful other than you can see past events that you've registered for and other registrations. You can find them all here. So it's not a big necessity that anybody have access to their unit page, but the roster is if you're going to upload a roster, this is the only way to do that. So from the rosters tab, it has information. You can add the scouts individually. I wouldn't recommend that because you have to add every piece of information that's there. You can't leave anything blank. And so that's cumbersome. And this is more information than what the summer camp registration requires. So I would not recommend doing that way. I don't really recommend doing really any of this unless you just really want to. And, I know some people do like to challenge themselves who know a lot about this, but one thing you can do is you can click the You Can button and do the upload unit roster. What will happen is you will be able to download an Excel template file so that you can upload this file. And this Excel template has a README with information that you'll want to read to make sure you're entering the data correctly and it has the right format. And the actual data sheet is where the columns are correct so that if you fill out all of this information for each of your scouts in your roster, then you can upload this. So there will be some people who have the knowledge of converting a Scoutbook file, which usually comes out as a CSV file. I think you could maybe do a conversion and just automatically send these things in here. It's not as easy as it sounds, but for those of you who use Excel, it might be simple to you. And then if you've done this before, you can select how you do duplicate handling of that. And then once you've got that file ready, you can select it here, upload it, and then you'll be able to have your unit roster uploaded, and you'll be able to go back in and add or edit members then. The advantage of being able to do this, for those of you all who find that useful, is if once you do go in to do summer camp registration, then there is a way to view the roster and automatically add people into your registration right from your roster that's been uploaded here. So again, I don't think this is at all a necessity for any unit to need to do, but I thought it would be fun to make a little quick video so that those of you who have interest in this and were wondering if it were possible, then maybe this would be something you can do. And my hope is it's a video that doesn't have to last very long because hopefully in the next few years, it'll be easier to do.